This video is brought to you by Sailrite. Visit Sailrite.com for all your project supplies, tools, and instructions. Take a look at this cabin. It is in need of updating desperately. In this video tutorial, we'll show you how to recover the backrest with new upholstered fabric, transforming this boat's cabin from dark and dreary to light and cheery. The backrest was made using a wood frame structure with foam and a fabric cover wrapped and stapled to the wood frame on the backside. This video is part of Sailrite's 2016 Project Boat series. To see many other project tutorials, click the playlist at the top right of the screen. We have already removed the backrest and the old fabric and are now ready to start the transformation.
This is the backrest for the V-berth cushions, and we're going to add a 1/4 inch sew foam to this just to beef it up a little bit and make it look a little bit nicer. So we just want to wrap the board.
When wrapping a fabric around a foam/board application, using the polyurethane foam with fabric backing, what Cindy called sew foam, always helps to smooth out any edges or sharp transitions. We highly recommend using it over applications like this prior to covering with your decorative fabric. The back side of the backrest is facing up, so Cindy staples the polyurethane foam with fabric backing to the underside or inside of the backrest. You can't see in this video too well, but this foam does have a thin fabric backing on one side of it. The fabric backing should go down against the wood and the foam up. Here at the ends, the foam is wrapped to the back side and then stapled in place. We are using the EZE TC08 staple gun. It is a very inexpensive pneumatic staple gun that works exceptionally well for applications like this. It shoots a 1/2 inch crown staple, which holds better in fabric applications than the standard 3/8 crown staple. Now we're ready to cover with our decorative fabric.
Okay, to determine how much fabric we need to cover this board, I know I want to go from this edge around to this edge right there, which is 16 inches, so give myself a little bit of extra. I'm going to cut my piece at 17. 97 inches long, plus I need some to wrap around each end. So the width I'm gonna need is about 102, 103 inches. The front of this board is only about 6 inches wide. That's all of the fabric that you're actually gonna see when this is put in the boat. So we're gonna use this motif right here all the way across as what's gonna show on the front of the board so that it's centered.
She has determined that the motif needs to be centered, and now we need a length of fabric that is about 17 inches wide and 103 inches long for our application. After marking it to size with the grease pencil, she cuts it with scissors.
We have some scraps left over from the other pieces that we've cut, so we're going to add some to both sides of this to make it long enough to reach the whole 96 inches.
This scrap fabric is not quite 54 inches wide, so we're going to use 2 pieces and join it to the ends on both sides of this one piece to accomplish the length that we need. Outside surfaces are facing each other, then the fabric is pinned in place, so we can take it to the sewing machine and sew it together. We need to cut yet another piece from our scrap fabric, so she's lining up the pattern, and she'll cut that piece so that it is 17 inches wide as well. Here's how she matches up the pattern.
I'd like to match this as closely as I can. So to do that, I'm going to use the Sailrite patterning ruler and press a crease in this because I don't want to iron this fabric. And that'll be enough to get me so I can pin it in place.
There would be nothing wrong with using an iron on low heat and creasing it that way as well. Now with that fold in the fabric, she can line up the pattern visually here and then pin the fabric in place so she knows where to sew. Then she will sew along the crease.
So I'm folding this edge back that I just pressed so that my pattern is continuous from this piece to this little folded edge. And then I'll stitch on the creased line also.
We'll take it to the sewing machine and sew over that creased location, reversing here at the beginning to lock our stitch in place, and we'll sew a straight stitch all the way to the other side. and reverse our stitch there as well to lock our stitch in place. We'll follow the same procedure for the other side as well. We will not show that. There we go. All that's left now is to staple the decorative fabric in place. That's next.
Before I apply this to the board, I'm going to use the Sailrite patterning ruler to press the seam open. If they stay pressed over to one side, there's going to be a lump there. So I'd like to press them open.
Some fabrics don't crease as well as others. You could use an iron on low heat for this as well.
Okay, this is the top of our pattern, this little piece that we want to show on the front, and this is the top of the board. So I want to make sure I get the fabric going the right way on the board, and I want that little triangle area to show. Open my seam back up, and then I can start stapling.
The raw edge of the fabric will not be visible here when installed on the boat. The square board seen here on the backside of this board is the attachment point where screws will be used to secure it in place. Once one long side is stapled in position, we can concentrate on the other long side. Pull the fabric over the board, pull it fairly taut, but not so taut that wrinkles are visible, and staple it in place as well. The standard staples, at least the crown, is 3/8 inch. This TC08 staple gun takes a 1/2 inch crown staple, so the longer width helps to hold the fabric in place, especially for vinyl fabrics. Sometimes vinyl fabrics, when stapled in place, will pull through the top of the staple. Having a longer crown helps to avoid that issue. Since we're upholstering this away from the boat, we did not know if the end of this board would be visible, so we decided to cover it with some of the decorative fabric prior to stapling the remainder of our cover in place. That means if it is visible, it'll look nice.
Now to finish the rest of this off, I'm going to cut along the edge of this board on the fabric, across and down towards the board, so that this piece will lay down. And to finish off the ends, we're going to trim away some of this extra fabric and then wrap it kind of like a present. The board is back here, so I've left about 1 inch off the end.
There's still more fabric that needs to be cut away, but Cindy's trying to decide exactly how she's going to wrap the end of the board here. Once she figures it out, she'll cut away the excess fabric. There are multiple ways the end of the board could be finished. This one's almost like a present, and it looks good. so we're happy with it. On that square board, we'll cut away the excess fabric that is over the edge, about an inch of fabric or so.
Okay. So this is the finished backrest for the V-berth cushions.
Using the old foam and then wrapping it with the polyurethane foam with fabric backing gave us a great rounded look to all edges. Next, we'll take it back to the boat and secure it in place. Here you can see that the square board is positioned over top of the lip of a table. Then Brian uses stainless steel screws and screws it in place. Up next is the materials lists and the tools that we use to reupholster this backrest. You will find hundreds of great looking upholstery fabrics at Sailrite. Check them out today. Our reupholstery job here had already had the polyurethane foam core that was reusable, but if you need a new foam, Sailrite's got you covered. Click the playlist here to see more projects done on the 2016 Project Boat. It's your loyal patronage to Sailrite that makes these free videos available. Thanks for your loyal support. I'm Eric Grant, and from all of us here at Sailrite, thanks for watching.